On India Tonight, we're discussing the world of cinema and Bollywood at that. Week after week, really. I mean, weekend after weekend, we're seeing these big budget Bollywood movies failing at the box office. Despite the long weekend, in fact, that we've just had, Amir Khan starrer Lal Singh Chaddha failed to impress. Both viewers and critics were not impressed. Akshay Kumar's Raksha Bandhan as well has met with a similar fate. It failed to make too many waves. In fact, this has become a trend. This year, the Hindi film industry has produced many more flops than hits. What are the reasons? Let's discuss this with film trade analyst Komal Nahta is joining us. Mr. Nahta, good evening. Great to have you with us. We've got back-to-back bombs at the box office to speak about. Lal Singh Chaddha, Raksha Bandhan, Shamshera, all have nosedived. But star fees are skyrocketing at a time when box office returns are probably at the lowest. It doesn't seem to make any economic sense. Where do you think we're getting it so wrong? Why are we seeing such a spate of flops? Is Bollywood really getting its content all wrong? What's the problem here?
Definitely, you said it. Your question answered it, actually. It's only and only got to do with the wrong content. I think Bollywood has taken the audience too much for granted. But the audience, in the meantime, has wisened up because they've been exposed to world cinema, world web series during the lockdown. 2 years sitting at home, they got exposed and therefore their tastes went up. And Bollywood did not pull up its socks. Bollywood continued to churn out average fare. Before the lockdown, average fare passed off as above average and did above average business. But no longer so now because they have access to world cinema and they have options now. They have gotten used to watching things on OTT, and that is why content being weak, the films are flopping. So, I mean, it's not an alarming situation because what is flopping deserves to flop. It's not as if great stuff is flopping. That would be cause for concern.
Working at the box office seem to be some of the South Indian cinema. So what's the big difference there?
The difference is South Indian writers, directors, they're all more rooted in Indianness. Bollywood suddenly made its own rules and they thought that the multiplex audience doesn't want deep root films rooted in Indian emotions. They don't want action. But that was just their theory, and it was a wrong theory, completely wrong theory. So I think while the South makers knew the formula, the Bollywood people thought that they know the formula and they aired in that. They did not know the formula.
But the actors seem to be charging big bucks. So the kind of losses, despite the fact that, yes, we are getting our content wrong, actor fees aren't changing. And that, when the economics go so wrong, you're digging a deeper grave for yourself. Wouldn't you agree?
100%. But let me tell you, such things will never be out in the open. But I am sure that stars are reconsidering their fees. Several stars are already sending feelers to producers and filmmakers that we don't mind working for lesser amounts. So the process has started. And let me also add, like the producers and directors and writers, stars are nervous as hell. Otherwise, catch them reducing their fees. No chance. They are doing it. I mean, in my 35 years career, I have never seen stars actually saying that we don't mind working for lesser amounts, but if not exactly A-list actors, at least B+. I mean, a little lower than A-list actors, they have already started sending feelers and directly saying, okay, you tell us the price, we'll bring down the price. So that process has started and there is no other option but to do that.
What are we seeing when it comes to star power? Is it actually waning? Because we're seeing the kinds of the Khans, their ability to draw in audiences is clearly eroding. They do command hefty interest among their legions of fans, but they haven't really converted it into box office success. So how are audiences actually looking at stars and the kind of power that they wielded not too long ago? Because it was in 2019 that we've seen stars like Akshay Kumar do so well at the box office.
Yes, I think this is the churning phase going on. One, audience is looking for newer stars and making them into superstars, which is not to say that the Khans are over. I will never say that. But now stardom has to be coupled with great content. Otherwise, people are not going to come to see the films. So if the content is not good, no amount of stardom is going to help. If the content is great, lesser stars will start working and they will become big stars. So it's a transitional phase that's going on, and definitely a lot of churning is going to happen, and you will see a lot of new things. One, better content. Second, newer stars. Thirdly, the old stars being displaced or replaced by newer lot. But to write off the Khans, I would never do that. It's too premature because they have all selected the wrong films, made the wrong films, which is why also their stardom is at stake, and their stardom is not drawing the audiences to the cinemas.
And the eroding economic power, Mr. Nahta, of Bollywood at the box office, that's going to impact the theatre business in a big way. The exhibition business, already hit hard by the pandemic. How much more is it going to suffer? Because so many of the single-screen theatres have shut down because of the pandemic. And now, as far as these big multiplexes are concerned, for them to keep up with the cost is going to be a huge task.
Definitely, you're very right. Lots of single-screen cinemas have already closed down. Several multiplexes are thinking in terms of starting another business or shutting shop. And I think it's going to be so for the next at least 5 or 6 months, because these films are all those films for which hard work never went in. These films were made on Excel sheets, just considering that I'll get so much from digital rights, from sale of satellite rights, from sale of audio rights, and theater may, I'll get this much. So these are not films made out of passion. They are films made with the greed of money. Until that lot doesn't get completely released, the newer lot will be a better lot. So I think we'll have to wait for at least 6 months, 8 months more.
We'll have to wait and watch, and hopefully Bollywood will get its act together and really survive the storm that they are facing, because really it has hit them and hit them hard. We'll see the kind of changes that come about. Thank you, Mr. Nahta, for joining us this evening. A pleasure having you as always.
Thank you.
Thanks. And now the external